Hi friends, let's talk about I am afraid to be too happy. I am afraid of being happy. And let's talk a little bit about where it comes from, why it's happening, and what you can do about it. So if you are cognizant, if you're aware that you have this feeling, it may look like there's a couple of sayings. The sayings are waiting for the other shoe to drop, because you're afraid of being too happy, because when you're too happy, bad things are going to happen. And this can be represented in a various areas of your life. It can be in relationships, career, with money, with family. And this is really because you have learned, right? You have learned, your subconscious mind, your energy, your body has learned that when you are too happy, something always happens, right? Something negative. You get bad news, you can lose money, you can lose a friend, you can get into an argument with someone, and that causes like a wrench to be thrown in your plans. But this happens as an adult. You get accustomed to being miserable, to being, like you're not deserving or worthy of positive things, of good things happening for you. So just catch yourself and create full radical awareness right here, right now, that some of us are just accustomed to being miserable, to being angry. Some of us don't know anything else than that. Some of us don't know anything else than struggle, than strive, than expecting the worst, right? So if you're catching yourself in that loop, this is how life is, it is what it is. This is just the way life is being dealt. And I just deal with it. I just deal with it. So if you're catching yourself with that, you might have the belief of being too afraid to be happy. As soon as something good happens, ooh, there's something bad around the corner. You better be prepared. So this can show up as maybe you win some money, maybe you win $1,000. And instead of like being present and being excited and grateful, maybe you are grateful, but instead of enjoying that moment and being like, yes, this is great, right around the corner, you're like, but I better save some money because I know it's an expense coming up. And maybe you may not be thinking that. You may not consciously be thinking, oh, something bad is going to happen. You may not be consciously thinking about it, but your energy is definitely saying that something bad is going to happen. So you may be enjoying that moment. You may be like, wow, yes, I won $1,000. And then unconsciously, you're like, oh, isn't this interesting? Like I have a new bill, or the car broke down, or someone's asking me for money. And man, I just got this. That sucks. And it's kind of like you go through these feelings and emotions of like you had a win and now you're having a low. And this is just how life is. But I'm here to tell you that those two things are not related. One, the other thing is your energy needs to be shifting, right? And in order for your energy to be shifting, to break this pattern of something good happens and then something bad is going to happen, we need to have the understanding of where it's even coming from. So let's take it all the way back. We're going to rewind when it's happening, right? And it's happening when we were in childhood. I know a lot of people are like, well, everything always happens in childhood. I don't want to keep talking about my childhood, or I don't even remember my childhood. And that's okay. I know. And if you're feeling apprehensive about, I don't want to talk or say anything or be about my childhood, this is just the subconscious mind, your energy kind of like fighting that because it doesn't want to heal. But I do have my audience that is open to healing. And so if this is you, because this is mostly my audience, then we have to take a look at our childhood. So somewhere in childhood, this tells me that you had the belief, or you had the environment, is what I want to say. You had the environment that created the belief that it wasn't safe to be happy for periods of time. So this meant that maybe one or both of your parents were always moody, angry, upset. Maybe they kept having long days at work and it just translated to when they got home, they were moody and upset. There could also have been physical or verbal abuse towards each parent. This can look like being angry, drinking, using substances to manipulate or control the emotions of another parent. This can look like if one parent comes home angry and upset, then everybody needs to be on edge because we need to make that parent feel happy or feel good. So what happens is that we begin to put our needs to the side. So if the parent comes angry and upset, we can't show that we're happy, because that's going to trigger the parent to have it out for us, or to make us do something we don't want to do, or to, why are you so happy? You should be mad with me. So it's like we're catering as children to the emotions of our parents, and they may or may not know that they are consciously doing this, but this is the environment that's happening, that's creating this pattern in the future of, I'm afraid to be happy, because if I'm happy for long periods of time, something's going to happen. I can't be happy for long periods of time, waiting for the other shoe to drop. So as a child, you learned how to keep yourself safe by not being happy for too long, by not taking care of yourself for too long, by not looking after your emotional needs for too long. Maybe you learned how to not have needs. You learn how to not be happy, because if one of your parents wasn't happy, then it wasn't safe for anybody to be happy. Because if one of your caregivers wasn't happy, it wasn't safe for you to be happy. So over time, you learn how to suppress your happiness to the point where maybe you were happy in secret. So maybe you grew up and you started to be happy, have fun with friends, have fun while you're playing games in your room. But as soon as you stepped out of your room, or as soon as you came back home from school, you had this face of like, I need to be non-expressive. I need to be cool, calm, and collected, because I don't know what's gonna, be waiting for me at home. I don't know what's gonna be waiting for me after I open that door. And it's best even if I don't, even have my parents' attention, because I don't know what I'm gonna expect. So maybe you were walking on eggshells around your parents. And again, this could be, something really small to something really big. You might have encountered physical abuse. Maybe if you were too happy, one of your parents might have hit you for that reason, right? But they were just taking it out on you. They were taking it out because they didn't know how to regulate their emotions. Nobody teaches us how to express ourselves. Nobody teaches us how to communicate better, especially towards our children, towards our loved ones. Nobody teaches us how to regulate our emotions, right? So those are the dynamics that you grew up in that could have led to now as an adult having the belief of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I can't be happy for long periods of time. So because you grew up as a child, however old you are now, you have that amount of time, years probably, living a life where you're not allowing yourself to be happy. So anytime something good happens, it's too good to be true. Whether it's a new opportunity, a new relationship, someone that wants to help you out, whether you're winning money, wherever it is in your life, it's like, well, this is too good to be true. So what begins to happen is that your mind and your energy have been conditioned so much that it actually starts to look for flaws. And here's where you can begin to sabotage yourself, sabotage the opportunity, sabotage the connection, sabotage the ability for you to continuously be open to this and receive it. So it's not safe for us to receive this, right? And so you begin to look for the flaws, right? The flaw. Oh, I knew it. This job is too good to be true. They're jipping me my paycheck. They are, not giving me the resources I need. They're really setting me up for failure. And you're kind of like your subconscious mind is just looking for it so that you can, expect disappointment. Because there's another saying, right? If I expect disappointment, then you won't be disappointed, right? So that's the program that's working behind the scenes. This is the program that sabotages disconnections in your work, with opportunities, with the company, with your coworkers. So you begin to show up defensively. So the person that showed up to the interview, the person that showed up to receive the opportunity that was open, that person kind of shuts down and kind of hides. So the person that shows up is the person that's expecting disappointment, the person that's expecting, flaws, the person that can't be happy. So if you're showing up from that energy and that space, you're showing up not open, right? Not receptive. You're showing up as not engaging also. So you're showing up as a way of you're distancing yourself, So it may feel like you're playing hot and cold with people. You feel like you're playing hot and cold with situations. And it's only because you can't be happy for too long, right? And so you might be saying, but I want to be happy, but I really, really want to be, moving out of this area and into a new area of my life. I want to shift. I want to transform. I want the peace. I want the joy. But the reason that is not happening is because your subconscious mind is the one that really, really, really rules all. Your subconscious mind really has that programming. So even though consciously you want to move towards happiness and you're like, okay, I got this opportunity. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to really enjoy it. And then all of a sudden, you start to just do things that are not, alignment. You start to distance yourself. And again, right, you're not knowing about this because this is the program that's running in the back. You're like, oh, I'm not going to trust these people. I'm just going to wait to see. I'm just going to give myself 90 days. I'm just going to see what they're about. That's the mind like helping you pull away from those situations, from those connections. So it begins to get uncomfortable. And what happens is that people start to react to that because now they're like not understanding. People are not understanding why you're doing this, right? But they're seeing the behavior, you're doing the behavior. And so what begins to happen is like, there's tension. There begins to happen tension in the connections, tension in the opportunities, tension in the situations. And now it feels really uncomfortable and neither you don't know what to do about it. And then the good thing happens where, well, it wasn't meant for me. Well, see, it didn't work out. And this is why. Right. And what happens is that you go through this cycle and this pattern over and over and over with different people, friends, loved ones, situations, opportunities. So if you're this person, you better listen up for this. Okay. Because this is what's causing this pattern to keep going. And in your heart, you might have the best intentions. In your heart, you may want to move forward. In your heart, you may really want to show up for this opportunity. But your actions are saying something completely different. And the reason why, again, is because your subconscious mind is really leading those actions. Okay, your subconscious mind is really leading those actions. So again, some of you, may just know life as struggle, as strife, as ups and downs, as life doesn't work out for me. I'm not lucky enough to have opportunities, miracles, connections. And even when I do, it's too good to be true, right? And subconsciously, it doesn't feel good to be happy. And think about that for a second. It doesn't feel good to be happy. So if you're this person, I want you to think back on a situation where you thought it was too good to be true. You can think back into the opportunity, the connection, the friendship, whatever situation that is. And you were like, this is too good to be true. I'm really happy. Something's going to happen. Like, I can't believe this person. I can't believe this opportunity. This is too good to be true. And just think back and close your eyes for a second with me and bring that situation to the forefront of your mind before you make any other conclusions, okay? Because the subconscious mind is what made the conclusions. I just want you to step back into that opportunity, right? That connection, that friendship, and breathe through that. Be fully present, fully aware in that moment that you're happy. You're happy. And it's almost like you can't even say it, right? Like, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And it's almost like you're fighting it. Like there's this fear coming up. So I want you to breathe through that fear. Think back on that situation, right? This is too good to be true. I'm happy. And I want you to repeat out loud, I'm happy. I'm happy. Wow, I'm really happy here. And just breathe through that. I'm really happy in this situation. And just breathe through that. Okay, let's do that one more time. This is too good to be true, and I'm really happy. And breathe through that. Okay, so that's one of the things that you can do when you're catching yourself in those situations. Now moving forward, you can just connect back to your breath, connect back to your being. Because when you connect back to your energy, to your body, what begins to happen is that your mind and your heart are going to start to get synchronized, because your heart has the good intentions. Your heart wants to move towards these opportunities, but your subconscious mind is like saying, nope, 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 right? So instead of just moving through our day-to-day life, just reacting and continue living out these patterns, one of the best things you can do is take a moment, take a step back, breathe through that opportunity, breathe through that connection, breathe through that, okay? And tell yourself that, wow, I'm really happy and it's scary. I'm really happy and it's scary. I'm really happy and it's scary. And I love that, okay? Being present in the moment allows you to stop worrying about the future, waiting for that shoe to drop, waiting for things to go bad. Because when you're waiting for things to go bad, you're honestly attracting that. You're attracting it. And so your energy, your behavior begins to shift. You begin to act out as if it already happened. So you begin to distance yourself, you begin to act defensive, you begin to do all the things because now you're thinking it's going to happen. Sure enough, it does happen, but it happened because your behavior shifted. Your energy shifted because you went into worry mode. You went into looking into the future instead of being present in the moment, enjoying that happiness and just admitting to yourself, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm happy. I'm scared, but I'm happy. So when you say that phrase to yourself, you're allowing yourself to be present in the moment and you're acknowledging your fear. And what begins to happen is that your mind and your heart will begin to synchronize, right? Your heart says, I'm happy. Your mind says, I'm scared. Your heart says, I'm happy. And your mind says, I'm scared. So staying present, focusing on your breath and saying that I'm really happy and I'm scared. And I love that. Allows your mind to come into synchronicity, okay? So feelings are really uncomfortable. Feelings are really uncomfortable. And I've had people tell me, Jen, can you just help me not feel anything at all? And the goal isn't to not feel anything at all, but to help you manage what you feel, how you feel about it, and helping you feel those feelings with more ease and grace without letting them rule your life, without letting them, lead into your day-to-day tasks, limiting you from doing life, right? So how can you feel the negative feelings? Cope with them, right? Experience them, not suppress them, and be able to live a balanced emotional life. That's the key to this thing. So yeah, catch yourself if most of us know us as angry, being miserable, being uncomfortable. We're so used to this. We're so used to life, being mean, bad, horrible, that you begin to fall into the cycle of judging, of saying, wow, look at all of this stuff. This is all bad. And you point out all the flaws, right? We spend so much energy pointing out all the bad in life. Now, we begin to believe that's how life is. We begin to realize like, wow, this is just life and it sucks. And when you look at the opposite, you can't even entertain that because you don't even know what happiness is. And it all started from when you were a child and you were having this experience in your home, in your environment, right? So if this is you, the second thing I'm going to suggest to do after, your breath and bringing your mind and heart into coherence, into alignment, the second thing I'm going to have you do is look at your environment. Look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with and take a look. Are they also saying, look at all the flaws of the world, look at all the flaws of work, look at all the flaws in you, in me, look at all the things that are bad. Because if that's the case, then you want to kind of start to remove yourself from those energies, removing yourself and finding new friends that are positive and uplifting and can encourage you and support you. Are bad things happening in the world? Yes. Are there bad things everywhere? Yes. Are people full of flaws? Absolutely. But to the degree that it's overruling our lives and our lens and our vision, that is not good. That is not good because that is exactly what is blocking you from experiencing these opportunities, not only coming in, but being able to stay and being able for you to receive the love, for you to receive the money, for you to receive the work opportunity, for you to receive the connections, the friendships that you're looking for. But it begins with becoming aware of how you're constantly feeling about the world, how you're constantly not allowing yourself to be happy, for more than a day, a week, a month, for more than 90 days. Anytime you say, I'm going to give myself 90 days, anytime you say, well, I'm just going to give this like 2 weeks, well, I'm just going to see where this goes. Anytime you're saying that is because you're already expecting disappointment at the end. Could you allow yourself to see where this goes? Could you allow yourself to give yourself 90 days, not expecting disappointment, but actually seeing how you truly feel about this? Like, how happy are you in this after you give yourself that time? And if you continue feeling happy, then continue staying in that opportunity, in that environment, in that department, in that work, in that connection, in that friendship, right? Does that make sense? Like, could you, instead of saying, I'm going to give myself 90 days because I expect disappointment, could you give yourself 90 days because you're going to see at the end of the day how continuously happy you're feeling in this connection, right? In the situation. So it's a shift. Are you expecting disappointment constantly? Are you expecting for the other shoe to drop? Are you expecting flaws to happen? Or can you expect something different? When you begin to expect something different, something magical happens. Life changes around you. Okay. So the third thing I'm going to suggest to do is definitely healing, doing inner child healing. You can do this, healing. You can obviously book a link in the description below or in my link in bio, wherever you find this video. But doing healing where we go back into healing childhood memories. Even if you do not remember your childhood, I guide you gently in a process of allowing these emotions to come out, right? Allowing this fear to come out. We do an integration process where we connect the mind and the heart to be in alignment together so that after your session, you're feeling more full and complete about your decisions, right? You begin to give yourself time and you give yourself a timeline to see where you're happy, but it begins by releasing all of these emotions. So I'm definitely going to suggest healing. I'm also going to suggest reading books, watching YouTube videos such as this one as well, to help you and guide you in experiencing your feelings with more ease, with more joy, with more grace, right? And not letting them overrule you, because feelings are nothing to be scared about. We did not grow up with understanding what is feelings and emotions. And back in the day when the 40-hour work week was established, it was because we were going to be working. We were in survival mode. So survival mode that was carrying our civilization at the time, right? In the 40s and the 50s. And it was just like production, working, go, making money after the depression, right? Feeling depressed wasn't good. We were depressed as a society for too long. So now we had to work. And if we worked, we dove into our work and we didn't focus on any feelings. We didn't focus on any depression. We didn't focus on any loss. We didn't focus on any lack. And so that became normal. And that's what we taught in the homes. And then that's what we grew up in, right? So there's like this dynamic around emotions that it wasn't safe to feel. Now we have to kind of like teach ourselves that it is safe to feel. And when we begin to feel our emotions, we can actually connect deeper to other people, right? In due time, because I know how that is for everybody. So that is what I wanted to share with you, why the fear of, I fear being too happy comes up in my practice with my healing sessions. And I wanted to touch on that as well. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. I hope you have an amazing day. This has been your spiritual life coach, Jen Rodriguez. I'm a Theta Healer practitioner and instructor, and you can find out more about me in the link below. You can also click a session to get your healing on, and I look forward to working with you. Other than that, I hope to see you next time. So have an amazing day. Bye.